Welcome back everyone, hope you're having a really good day. We're back at Beck's and Johnny's in the Pavlikeni region and it's probably about 11:30 in the morning and we've spent the first part of the day exploring builders merchants in Polski Trambesh en route to order some materials and supplies to finish and get more progress on the septic tank, the septic pit. So we've got 2 pallets of block work, we've got OSB to support the concrete lid, soil pipe, just reinforcing bars, things like that. Loads of cement and loads of sand. So behind me is the garage doors for the entrance of the truck. The delivery fee was only 25 lev, which was really reasonable. And they're going to be arriving in about an hour, which gives us time to just get things ready, make some space for the materials, and yeah, let's see how it goes. One thing it must be noted for anyone who hasn't ordered materials in Bulgaria, when you're ordering things of pallets, they go onto the back of the delivery van or tipper truck on the pallet, but you usually have to handball them off when it gets to the destination. So we've got about 200 blockwork, breeze blocks that me and Dada and Anisha are going to have to handball and stack neatly again on the floor. So stay tuned and we'll catch up with you in a bit. So after the materials are all sorted out, we've brought a clip light so we can actually see what we're doing. And the plan is to get all this rubble out, to get the metal cage out and the 2 sides and as flat as we can with the existing wall. We've noticed when we put the light on there's a damp water ingress spot here from this old chimney above. So that needs bringing down to ceiling level on the outside and capping off. Similar to how we did that. Looks a bit ragged at the minute, but you can imagine it all flush and sorted out. It's going to look really nice and slick, really. And we're not going to do any of the floor today. We're going to just try and keep on top of the mess. And it might take us a few hours to sort the materials out, get it into the dry stalls and things like that. But it was a good sign on the soil where it got dug last week. So we came and it hasn't been flooded out. So that means it's got really good drainage on the hardcore bedrock at the bottom. So it's everything's looking pretty good, to be honest. So we poured up the lino to give the floor a bit of breathing space. Because you can see there's just a little bit of moisture retention from underneath. But the house is very cold, so that doesn't help either to dry it out. Now, you've seen updates where we took the laminate cladding off of the walls and exposed the existing plaster walls and this lovely chimney cupboard here. So all the lino is going to be gone. The laminate is going to be reclaimed and reused in my father's property. So it's kind of a clear up day and sorting out day with materials, ready for next week where we can get an extra power muscle with a new machine possibly to help with the concrete floor. And yeah, we're winning. Everything's looking really good. Okay, so we're doing an inventory checklist now that the delivery driver has just left. We're going to start with these metal bars. These are 6 meter lengths of 8mm rebar, and they didn't have the normal cattle grid that you usually see for reinforcing a large pad. But no problem, we're going to cut them to size and twine them together with wire. So the price of these individual bars... 6 lev 80 for one, and we've got 15 of them. What's next on the list, Nish?
OSB.
2 sheets of OSB.
Water resistant.
Water resistant?
Yeah.
Huh.
32 lev each.
32 lev each. 64 lev for the 2 sheets of OSB.
OSB is expensive.
Usually, yeah. The 2 pallets came free, which is quite rare because they usually take them away back to their yard, which came with the bricks. What's next on the list, Nish?
The bricks.
Okay, so how many bricks did we get?
164 at 230.
230
2
each.
levs 30 each.
Okay, not too bad. Nice structural bricks, and they have the voids inside if we feel like we need to reinforce it, but it probably won't need it. But we got the ones with the grooves intentionally to every couple of courses put a bar around it to reinforce if there's any sinkage or slippage of the earth around the pit. What's next, Nish?
Soil pipe.
100
metre length. 110 mil.
110 mil.
That was 19 lev for that.
19 lev for 1 orange soil pipe. The 2 elbows.
5 lev each.
5 lev each.
And the PS sack was 25 lev for all of that.
750 kilograms of sand for
25 lev.
25 lev.
And then the transport was 25 lev. And I was,
For delivery.
Yeah.
What about the cement?
6 lev 80 per bag.
Per bag, 25 kilogram weight per bag, and we've got 10 of these. So we're kind of doing a, is it 3-to-1 ratio, and then we're going to get ballast for the future lid when we're ready for that. So all in all, pretty good, to be honest, for the price. There was a 20% tax, so it came to pretty much exactly 700 lev for the lot. And we must say it was the first time we went to that builder's merchant, just on the edge of the Polski Trambesh. And there was a little bit of a language barrier when we first went in, but the politeness and the respect and patience that they had was absolutely outstanding customer service. And we didn't actually plan on getting the delivery today. We thought there'd be a wait time, really quick response. They said 1:30. We're like, brilliant, get it down. And very, very impressed with the selection of stuff. They've got everything from toilets with the cistern kits, vanity units, floor tiles, wall tiles, anything. They've got Kango hammers and a bit of a hand tool section. So if you are in the area and you haven't been there yet and you need some supplies, check out the pin and the link in the description. And yeah, let us know how you experienced it. But we were pretty impressed. So for the rest of the day, the rain's coming now, so we're back inside after shifting some of these materials that need to go under cover and finishing off the trough in the future bathroom. So stay tuned. Progress report. The weather has turned nasty, but it's all right because Dad's made absolutely huge progress inside. You can see the little rebar basket there mixed in with the barbed wire. So this is the last wheelbarrow rubble to go down to the bottom of the village in the dump. All the kitchen has been cleared out. You can see where we brought in the cement and the elbows. So it's looking pretty nice and clean in there. Got the OSB undercover here. A little bit of rubble behind there, but no problem. But the main big difference today, isn't it nice how you can actually see what I'm trying to talk about with this little clip we brought today? So the last sides were a little bit difficult because they were still cladded in solid concrete, but you can see how they kind of cut out the plaster, and then the trough was secondary to the structure of the building. Really nice, easy flat lines to patch up this area. And the plan is the sink basin is going to go on the other side of this wall, and the toilet soil pipe will be going like diagonally out that way. So we'll be able to connect the cold water supply to the manifold here and have a shower. You've got a little soap dish ready. And we're thinking like a rectangular strip drain, which will be easier for future tiling and levelling of the floor. So if you can imagine like a bit of a drain here, we're going to try and dig out the existing soakaway because that just literally goes into the garden somewhere, or even right into the other building, the mud brick building on my right hand side outside. So we're going to keep it with a dip. That's the original plan, but maybe bring it up a little bit more to give us swivel room on the trap of the shower and hopefully connect it to the existing 100mm soil pipe that's going to go that way towards the cesspit outside, and it'll save us going underneath the foundations again. So this cold water supply here, a bit of fiddling around and working out how we're going to get that into the other room, but it might end up being connecting to somewhere else in the outdoor sink basin there. So Dad's been working really hard. I've done about 50 trips down to the bottom, got rid of all the rubbish to the large bin, the biffer bin at the bottom of the road. So let's go see what Nisha's been up to. You can see how she's been tackling this. I haven't got round to scooping the dust up just yet, but it is really fine, and the slightest scoop brings it all up into the air. So we might not get round to tidying the rest of the dust up, but at least we're on top of the rubble. I can see the garden's looking nice and green, in parts, obviously. And Anisha's started sorting out a lot of materials around there. You can see some of the long strips of the laminate haven't been able to be put in the bin, and we don't want that going in the countryside. So some of the bits need snapping up for next week. But the materials where the digger came through, she's been sorting like piles of white stones over there. And I might just quickly show you because the rain's not too bad. Okay, so you can see how there's just that last piece of concrete that's just got that bit of rebar left. We can bolt cut that off. Dad's going to shear that off with the SDS next week and sort this bit of chain link fence out. These little slabs, most of it is hardcore and will go down to the bottom, but the little tiles and the pebbles we're putting aside because they're always nice to make little projects with. And it's just been sorting out some little piles because, you know, if you've been watching the channel from the beginning, she really likes moving stone around the garden and sorting it into piles. So any useful and future project DIY things for Bex and Johnny is here. And these little pens, as we're moving around and shifting stuff, it's just going to be like Bulgaria related things in there out the way. So like I say, maybe another hour or two inside, trying to get a bit more plaster done and a bit more tidying up. Maybe a cup of tea. We haven't even had a cup of tea yet. Bloody hell. Working a stuck bone. So we'll wrap it up and we'll see you in the next video. Division in.